Art students, welcome to day 8, and sadly, I hang my head in shame. This is the finished product right here. So somehow, near the end of it, the camera cut off or it wasn't cut back on, so you couldn't see the inking process. The only reason I left it up because there's a lot of good information inside of it, like drawing hands and doing other things. So that's one reason I just put it up. So it is 98% finished, as I would say. So it's there, and yeah, let's go and draw it because I got more drawings to do. So let's get going. And welcome to day 8. So we're going to do another accent pose position, and you should be drawing along. The whole purpose of this is basically to, one, get my skills back up to speed, to snuff, because you get lazy when you don't draw. Two, to upload every day so that you guys can start drawing along, or you should be drawing along to get your skills up as well. Now, you might not be able to keep up, but you don't have to draw the whole thing. It doesn't have to be perfect. Let me say, number one, you should be drawing along too. It doesn't have to be perfect, but as you're drawing, you're getting time in the drawing and making your skills better. You don't. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's about you practicing. You don't have to draw the whole pose. You might see like the arm or the hand or something and say, oh, I like that. Let me try to draw that one little particular piece. So as I say, it doesn't have to be perfect and you don't have to draw the whole thing, but you should be drawing as well. Draw something that just gets the juices flowing and makes you a better artist in the end. So I've marked out my borders, which you can't really see because it's kind of light. So hopefully I won't go past them. So here we go. Here we go. I'm gonna get the initial rough outlined. Rough outlined. Rough outline. He's got his arms stretched across, so hopefully they won't go off the page. One is there and it's bent. One is straight, and this is gonna be the body. And maybe I could make that a little bigger because the leg's gonna be bent, like so. One's gonna be up here. The other one's gonna be down here. And if you have to, make the stick figure and the head is going to be here. That way you have the whole thing on top of your page. You have the whole thing fitting on the page. So like I did here, so if I do a torso, I can do this for the torso. That simple shape right there. Straight line. If I want to do the torso from the side, I can still do that. And then instead of putting my point of the roof right here, put it to the side like that. That's my side picture. So of course, the arm's gonna go here, one arm's gonna go there, the head is here, one leg here, the other leg is gonna go behind there. So it's just as simple as doing that. And then you can curve it out, carve it out, knowing just, if you say you make the torso too big, then just do this first. You know how big you want the hips. Then, there's room between here for the stomach, because you're gonna have to have this. So then you say, okay, this is about the size that I want. Since that's the center of that U, or if you have to do a V, just like you did with the house, that's fine, and then round it off later. So where these end up hitting here and here, it's going to go down, down, and it's going to curve around, which is the collarbone here, belt there, arm there. Your whatever's left, you make that V, that letter V, and then a little bit of neck, and then your head. So you don't have to always start out with this and then put the tuna can and then put the upside down house. You could start out with this shape right here. This is just for the rough of it, to get your picture to get your picture started. Same thing as if I want it bent. I want a guy bent like that. Do this without putting without putting the roof on yet. Find out where he's going to be, where your center line is. And then wherever your center line is, then put the roof. Same thing. If you don't know how big this is, you know how big you want your waist. You know where you want your belt at. So right there, remember, leaving room. So then you can say this is going to be the size of the thing. My brain is already on 2 sentences ahead, so that's why I'm like the torso. There you go. That's what happens to me. And then do your V or round it off. And then again, stomach down. And then you can slim this off. You say, okay, that's too wide. Or you could either make it a little bigger to come outside, or bring it down in and back out. Well, not too much because you don't want to make a woman out of it, but just make this smaller. Bring this in and you can come straight down if you need be. So, easy tips to drawing the body. So I have this. So it's going to be here, turning into there. So then I will put my house here if it's not too long, into my roof, top of my roof here. Going up. And then let's do what I showed you guys to do. So I'm going to leave this because I'm going to put the leg is going to come up. So I want to change that. So here's my oval. The center line is going to be here by leaving some room. So I can do that a little darker for you guys. Oval, which it should be egg shaped. Realistically, the torso, the skeleton is like this. It's like an egg shape without doing this. You know, you have your it goes up here, and you have your little I'm not gonna name the bones, and then you got the bones that come around like this, like that. But what I'm saying is it's more egg shaped with the the smaller end being up top. But when you do this, you want to reverse it. You want to have this more wider than that because you want big shoulders. You want your shoulders to come right off there. Realistically, the collarbone comes off way off here somewhere, and then it goes back, and you have that the shoulder blade back here in the back, and then your arm is connected to this, and it goes down, and that's kind of how it is. And this is actually flat, and you have your skeleton here, there. But you just want to flip it upside down to make it a lot easier, to give it more shoulders. Now, if it was a female, you can do it that way, but just remember, this should be wider. All right, so we got that. Got my collarbone because this arm is going to come down. This arm is going to go like straight. If I don't run out of space. So let's say we have it's going to come around. So this is going to be the mountain. So this and this going to connect. This gives you that curve. This starts you out with that curve. And then I'm going to go curve it in. Now, a lot of times if I'm doing a straight shot, I'll do this, collarbone, and I'll take it in just like this. I've showed that maybe once or twice, but most times I say just round it off. Just round it off. Because usually a lot of times it's either straight up for straight on shot, but most times it is curved when I'm drawing. I teach you guys so you curve it. But when I do a serious drawing straight on, I'll curve it in. That way I'll have that like, it goes across like this, and then it goes around like that. But that's what I'll do. That's for those serious drawings. Okay, coming down. So let's just say what the chest is. The chest is just a little above this. So here. And at this, you want to curve it up to that arm. And at this, you want to curve it up to that arm. Not that arm, that delt. So since this arm is going to be like back, the delt is going to go like this. And then this, since it's going to be forward, it's going to come all the way like that. So that stomach is curving around, or the tunic hand, which is like right there. And then the waist, I'll bring that up some more. As I said, you'll know where you want your belt placed at on the character. You won't want it way down here, or you won't want it way up there. You kind of know where the belt line is. So this leg is going to come up. Let me turn my paper now. This front part of the leg is just an oval. Now it's a cylinder. This other part is going to come down here. And then going back. And this one's going to go back too. So Let's drop this down. See, I'm drawing slow. When I draw slow, I get stiff. So drop it down just a little bit. And then your knee is going to be here, and this is going to be right here. A lot of times when I draw, I will do just more ovals or cylinders. When I'm showing you guys, I'll turn my ovals into a cylinder just to show you guys. And the foot, and that's the other foot. But you see, that's just an oval there. Then you turn that into that. Let's see. I could actually have him leaning forward more, but I think I'm just going to have him lean back. And this arm should go up. This arm is going to go up more, which is just oval here, tucking under there. And it's going to be bent here. So about like this. So this is going to be your cylinder, front circle and back circle. This is going to be straight, so it's going to come up under here. And the one thing is, you're just going to have to be able to gauge how far each body part is, the proportions. Like right now, I can see that's a little too long, way too long. You'll learn after doing it and doing it and doing it, you'll kind of learn how long something should be. Like this chest could go down a little further, because this guy is long. He turned out to be really, really long. But again, as I say, it is a quick drawing. Which means it's not going to be loose as I want it, but I'm having you follow along. So this leftover circle, you always have leftover circle. That is your shoulder. That is your shoulder. All this is considered your shoulder, but when you break them down, this is your traps right here. These are your delts. And then, of course, it goes to your back. It goes into your back. So this is that V, because you have those muscles in your neck. And I take the V right up to the top of this. Let me use a pencil so that you guys might be able to see what I'm doing. Right there at your collarbone, here and here, you have this little dip right here. That separates the chest, like that. Then you're going to have this left over, this little circle. And you can add to that to make the shoulders bigger. But right down in this little dip is where your neck starts. It comes up like this. You have extra muscles in here. And usually right around where the top of that circle is where I put my chin. Unless he's bending down, and then I'll follow up with my neck, and then there you have your rest of your shoulder, and you have that muscle. You have this little piece right here, this and this muscle here. Let me show you on this little guy here. You have your this, and this curves in like that, and then it leaves this little piece here. The little sink in, because this is your traps, and it goes, how's that go? That goes like way down your back here. So you have this and this, which sucks in there, and you have these round parts there. Hopefully you can see that, because that was kind of small. So now that I have this, let's kind of fix this up. I know this is a little long. Just a little long. And then we're going to have this. Now with this, in case I didn't show, this is all one piece. All one piece. What am I trying to show? Circle, chest. This goes up. Collarbone, then your delt. I always do a circle, just so you can see where to put the circle at. So this collarbone is going to stop right here, kind of like goes into the delt just a bit, and then it's going to go like this. And this is going to be, you're going to chop that off, and the delt is going to be like that. And this part right here, this little curve, that's the start of your arm. And it's going to tuck right up under here, your arm, your bicep, and your tricep. And then of course, goes here, your elbow, and then your forearm right there. But this is just kind of what I want to show you. And this is going to come around and you're going to have a little piece here. It's kind of like you have this little shoulder pad looking thing, and your arm, it goes all the way around like this, and your arm tucks up under here like this, and you have this left over. So if I did this in pen where you could see that, you have this little shoulder pad, goes through here, your arm rides right up onto there and goes into your chest, the nipple of the chest, and then this comes out. Here's your arm. Here's your arm right here. It tucks under. It goes here, and then right here is your lats, or that circle that comes around for that oval. And then like right here you have where your no, I'm sorry. It's like this, goes down like a fang. You have your ribs. And there's a name for that. And I want to call it striations, but it's not striations. It's something else, something. So, let me see if I can bring that leg up a little bit more, because it's kind of like if he was jumping down off of something. If I get like quick and loose, it'll be a lot easier. This is weird. This is just a weird position. This calf is going to be tucked up under that leg. It's going to go down and back, kind of going in. So this leg is going to come down. So it starts up here, so you can't have it too long. It starts up here and comes down, so it's going to end probably about right here. Then you have that knee like that. And something I was going to say about the leg. The leg comes up here and it basically kind of stops and it goes up like that. So it's shaped like that. So your leg would be here and you have this little piece of hip there. So let me do this and then twist this a little more. That gives it that more motion when you twist it a little bit more. So this is going to be solid. This is going to be solid. And after that, and it's tuna can, that's where you get that little twist and bend at. Come in here. You're going to see some obliques here, because your obliques, or your love handles, when you get fat, you have those little fat love handles here, like that. They go from, once you have this curve here, the obliques start here and go down. So let me take some of the fatness off of this guy. And this might be a little long, but he's actually stretching, so. And of course the, I was just saying, the picture was a little slow, so. The drawing was a little slow. All right, so what I was gonna do, I was gonna take that. Again, you can have your chest, this, and then you're gonna have an indentation right here. Remembering this was a ball, like this, so you're gonna have that indentation. It's gonna come in and then go right back out. Same thing with this. Make this a little bigger. It's going to come right off of that collarbone. Wherever that collarbone is coming, that's going to come right off. It's basically going to follow. And then you'll have that indentation again right here. And that gives you more of a powerful chest when you indicate that my chest is like this. and then here's my delt like that, versus if I just do this, and then here's my delt here, shoulder, collarbone, 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 my delt here comes off, is my neck with that V. Remember that V comes up to what's left of this circle and goes up a little bit, and I put my chin right there at the circle, unless he's looking down, or if I want him like a little taller. But if you have this, what are you doing? I don't know. And some lats, stomach, like that. It's really crooked, but it's okay. And then the head. Now you have that, but then if you separate this and this, it gives the chest a little more powerful look. I know this is off. This one just kind of like got thrown off badly, but yeah. And then you have the muscles that actually go. You have this. This is like a dip right here. This is a little dip from this to the bone, because you have your bone here, and then you have this little dip right there beneath your bone. And then you have your muscles that come from there, from this point out. And of course you have the striations that come from right in the center too. So it just gives you a little quick extra, so you can do a little extra with the chest. And if you do nipples, and I don't do nipples because that's like YouTube thing. Oh, he's drawing nudes now. So you just do a V or diamond, and it's gonna fall on that line like that. Same with the females. You do that V from that corner, I guess from that corner, from wherever this roundness is here, go up, and then that's where you place them. So as I say, I don't do that because that's too much of like drawing nudes. So this is gonna come up here and point here. This my arm is gonna be here. I'm drawing dark now. I shouldn't be. Come right from under there. Now what I'll do is I'll dip this piece down here, so you can see. I'll dip this in and bring it out and down more to give him a little tricep. The bicep is going to be straight, and it curves here. If you can connect them if you want to, and then there is a little line here. This makes it into like a triangle. This comes into like up here, and then this triangle, and then there's a line here, and this actually goes to your thumb. This little muscle goes to your thumb. I think the next step for a lot of people is just learning how to draw the actual shape of the muscle versus a lot of little cylinders, because each muscle takes on, especially when you bend it, it takes on a different form. Then when it's straight, or when you turn the thumb, like you see, you know, the arm does take, especially the muscle, it takes on a different form when you twist the arm. But so that's something you're gonna have to learn. Look at your own arm and or leg or foot in most cases, and if you have to, pose and take a picture of yourself. That way you will get some at least the right curves, the right shapes. So we're gonna do this one. This one is gonna be, or is it gonna be square like that? Maybe in a little bit. Maybe, or maybe back, I don't know. This is gonna be straight. Going back to this, this is gonna be straight. I'll cut this wrist off right here. Let me look at it in the monitor. About right there. I'm gonna go straight. The thumb. And you can put those two fingers up here if you choose, or it could be just a straight hand. That's, to me, that's still just a bit long. It is long. I'm thinking the bicep. Well, he's actually reaching out. So if he's reaching out, you're going to get a little bit of length. But let me just shorten it at the wrist just a bit. Bring it in at the bicep. So here, bring this in. And this is why I say walk away from your drawings because you're drawing and you're like, oh, it's coming out good. This looks good. This looks good. So your brain is telling you, oh, it all looks so good. But, you know, you have to take a break sometime and then just kind of like really see what it looks like by looking at something else, getting away from it. We look at the body. We have friends and family and so forth. So we're looking at the body constantly. And we never really take in how it really looks when people twist and turn and so forth. So, yeah. It's like looking at a wrecked car. You look at wrecked cars, you see car accidents and cars wrecked on movies and TV. But we never really look at, you know, what it looks like. So if you're an artist, we need to take all of that stuff in. And I like to put a little, turn mine into like this little M right here. I put this, dip this down and make it kind of into this M. And then you can bring this up. This is just a me. I think I got this from Jim Lee. I just like the way he would do that because it just adds more a little muscle definition. And then do this. And then the what's name can curve around from there. It's just, like I say, it's just a Jim Lee kind of thing. And your obliques here and here. Not too long. And then you have your little hip right there. What was I working? Oh, the arm and the hand. I'm just jumping. I'm all over the place. And usually, if I'm struggling with the length of a hand, just know your thumb, actually where this cuts off, where's my thing? Where this cuts off at, your thumb is going to be kind of right there at the cutoff point. I mean, I can stretch it and take it over just a little bit, but as a rule of thumb, rule of thumb, it's going to be like that. So something like this, I'll stretch this, and this will be the size of my palm. And then I'll put my fingers there, kind of finger length. If I want to bring the other fingers up, or just leave it like that, or bring them down like that. But as a rule of thumb, that's when you're drawing the palm, and the palm is just a square. Basically, it's a square. You look at this. This is a square. You cut my thumb off. I have just a square right there. Okay, so my thumb, you have this part of the palm and this little thin part, which actually goes up to the baby finger. I can't make that shape to where you see it, but I'll do this. This one, this comes up, this little, your lifeline, this comes up halfway. So if you split this in half, put it on thing, and you split that in half, your lifeline, or this one right here, this little piece of the meaty palm is gonna go halfway up. And then this one is going to go right to the baby finger. Easy to draw hands. And then, of course, your thumb is going to connect here, and it's going to go up. This is more of a rectangle, not a square. And it's going to go up to about like that, or just a little bit above that. What am I holding my hand up for? And then you come down like this. And then you have basically your sides. As I said, you can come up just a little bit. Not too much, but like that. And then you draw your first finger. However you draw your first finger. You know you have 4 spaces. You have like 1, 2, and the center line. And you have 2 on the other side. Then I'll draw my first finger. I'll draw my last finger. And then add the other 2. And you know this one is longer. And this one is longer than that one, but shorter than this one. Same thing if I'm drawing a hand some kind of way. I don't know. I'll draw my square first, then I'll draw my palm, put my thumb on it, however I want to do a hand, but I can't really see a hand right now. Curve it, because anytime you draw a hand or you turn it, the whole thing is curved. It's like a curve. It's not, It's straight when your hand is just straight like that, but when you do it, it curves around. That whole piece curves around. So like this, so however I want my finger, I only bend it like one time. And then maybe I'll do my last one. Then I'll come back and I'll say, okay, I want this one here and then this one there. Since this is going to be covering part of this one, maybe. This is the longer one. Come down on your 4 spots, 1, 2, 3, 4. This one may be covering this baby finger and this one will be covering that. But I have my baby finger set so you can't really mess up. So, I know this is a poor excuse for a hand. How did I have this one? This one comes down like this. And then, of course, the baby finger is tucked up behind here. So you have your 1, 2, 3, 4. You have this comes down. You have this one halfway. And then there's your thumb. And this one goes to the baby finger if it is bent. If it's twisted like that. Yeah. Halfway. So you're drawing a square or rectangle, half and half. There's your thumb's going right there. The other one's going up to your finger. Your thumb's there. Finger. A true tutorial. And then you just have to realize or kind of figure out how you want to, when your fist is turned, how you want something to look. But I always draw square first or the rectangle. Like this is what I'm seeing in my head, this little box curve in, knowing that this is going to curve in, and then I put my thumb. Where's the thumb going to go? The thumb is going to go in the front, and I'll just do a little piece like that. That way I see my, kind of like how I want it, or the basis of a hand. Like that, and then your thumb is here, knowing that it's got to curve around like this, and then your fingers, this one's going to go out, this one's going to come down, this one's going to go in, and this one's going to go in more like that. And this is up. This is fingers here curving into that thumb, which is going to be here and there and everywhere. And this is out. This is in more, and this is in even more, giving that curve. You have to start doing that curve. And then you have this palm, and then you have this piece of the palm there. And then, yeah. I said I'm going to master hands because I've seen some guys with just beautiful hands. And the things that we are afraid to do, we don't do, which we should be doing more. It's like me in perspective. I should be doing more perspective. Because eventually, if you're doing comics, you're going to have to learn how to do it. I mean, regardless, you're going to have to learn how to do that stuff. So once you get your box, you put your little piece for your thumb up there, and that gets you halfway going. So maybe I'll put this one up more, this hand up more. So basically, it's kind of, how would your hand or your wrist or your would be in the jump? And this is when I start using too much red and it's kind of hard to erase. Then I'll switch colors. Bicep is going to be more centered here. Centered at the top because that tricep is heavy. So we're going to have this, split this. And then that hand again, I'm still dealing with that hand. I'm just doing some other things until I can figure out how I want to put that hand. Tilt it down, tilt it up. And this is where I cut it because you shouldn't have to sit while I debate on how I want it. And then, yeah, let's do some leg. You have this, you're going to have Let's curve around. Here's my knee. You're going to see some of the front of the knee. Like that. My calf. Come on. Make sure my camera's still running. My foot. My phone. Hello, you. All right, back again. And this calf here. Should be about right there. Cut some of that foot off. Some of that leg off. It's going to go into here. That foot. You have that, the heel, just the curve for that heel. It dips in for that instep. No, the instep is here, the arch. And then you have that. So this is your instep right here, and then like that. All right, so that head, make that head a little bigger. A little square right there for the chin. Bring it up. Curving around, catching that, and there's my neck. Bring my neck back. So this is where the face would be, right there. Maybe make the neck a little bigger and give him a little more shoulder. If you want to draw a bigger guy, muscular guy. Somebody asked me how to draw people without so much muscle, and I think I'll do that in one of these 30-day drawings. Not so much up in here. This is where my knee is going to go. That, and I fix that arm, and I think that's going to be it for this one. Maybe I'll take this off. That might be a little too much here. We'll see. A lot of it I kind of fix in the wash when I'm doing the inking. So the stomach is going to be here. Coming down because it's twisted. Same here. Going around, back and around. And then we'll ink it. We will ink it. You will ink it. As soon as I figure out this hand, one more time. If I can't get it out, I'll pause it and I'll figure it out. Let's curve it first of all. Pencil. Got too much red going on. Pencil. Or do I want more of the fingers showing, kind of like what? Kind of like turn that box up. So you see the palm and the thumb like I just did. I don't know, but I'm going to pause this and I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to come back with it drawn. Because as I said, I don't want to waste too much time trying to figure out one thing or another. And of course, I can't see that because there's that glare from this pencil. And you have that, and you have your bicep, and you have the dark here. Tricep, not bicep, Brian. Your leg muscle, which is going to They all change when they bend. So don't try to draw the like it we usually draw. Let's just say they all change when they bend. And this is just going to be dark because there's a line here. Shadow, shadow, shadow. All right, now I'm just fidgeting. All right, I'll be back in a second when I get this hand. All right, unfortunately, things do happen. And when I'm trying to get one picture out a day, edit it and upload it, more stuff happens. So this is the finished product. Sorry you didn't see it. This was the hand that I was struggling with. And I don't know, for whatever reason, when I came back, maybe I didn't turn the camera on. I don't know, but it didn't show up. So anyway, this is the final product. And the only reason I'm leaving it up and not doing it is because it was probably like 98% finished anyway. I just added some inking and then it was done. So yeah, 30 days. Got to keep moving. All right, no time for mistakes. So this is it. What is this? Day 7? Day 7, I think it is. Day 8, because I have to mark them. You see that? Day 8. I have to mark these things because I'm going through them. So day 8 is over. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Don't think about it. Don't sweat over it. It's only a picture. It's only a picture. All right, tomorrow.